If you are feeling stuck right now wholesaling real estate, I totally get it. You are trying your cold calling, you're texting every day, you're going out for hours on your weekend and trying for dollars, and you're getting nowhere. You're not getting the leads you want, you're not making the offers you want, and you're not getting properties under contract and actually closing the wholesaling deals that you need to do. I've been there, so many people have been there, and this isn't just an only struggle of why you are successful or not successful. The truth is, it is a problem that can be solved. And what I want to do is really highlight the most common issues why you right now in wholesaling real estate are stuck, how to get unstuck and actually start getting some positive momentum in your wholesaling operations so you can actually go out here and start closing some wholesaling deals. Now, the majority of wholesalers that are feeling like this, they probably haven't gotten their first wholesaling deal yet, and that's totally understandable. But there is a subsect of people that haven't gotten a wholesaling deal and they've done 3 or 4 and they're getting on a roll and things have just stopped. And really these are the tale of two types of wholesalers that are trying to make a change and trying to go out here and change everything. And the first concept that we have to truly understand here is nothing changes unless we make a change. And just by you watching this video and being open-minded to the fact that I might need to make a change so I can get back into the positive and actually going out here and start doing wholesaling deals again is the first step. Now, the most common one, when people feel like they're stuck and they're getting nowhere in wholesaling, they most likely have a lack of marketing problem. Most people like to blame the market, not the marketing. And I can tell you is yes, some people are just in the way wrong markets, but the truth is it's probably your lack of marketing that's the issue. I see so many wholesalers in Detroit, Macon, Georgia, Columbus, Dallas, Houston that say, oh, I'm just in a terrible wholesaling market, when the truth is no. You're not in LA, Miami, or New York City. Like those are tougher markets to wholesale in. You're in the right market. Your problem is your lack of marketing. And I'm not saying that you have a lack of effort you're putting in. Maybe you spent 15, 20 hours every single week trying to cold call and you're getting nowhere. That makes sense. I see it happen actually all the time. A lot of people have a ton of effort they put in, but the results yield nothing because wholesaling real estate is just not a one-dimensional game. It's not a game where if you just go, and you get credit, you get results. It's a multifaceted game. That's why in basketball, if you're only really good at dribbling, and when it comes time to do defense or shooting the ball, and you suck, you're not gonna be a good player. You're just gonna be a one-dimensional basketball player. And once they figure you out, you're done. So if you're in the first camp, and this is probably the most likely one where you have a lack of marketing, your actual volume sucks, you're not talking to enough sellers, that's the first thing you have to really make an understanding here. And the one we have to make the change on. If you are only making 10 cold calls a day, you are not doing enough. You have your competition around you who's trying to get wholesaling deals, and they probably want it more than you, and they're making hundreds of calls a day. I'm not telling you to go quit your job or stop hanging out with your family, but you should be dedicating at least 5 to 10 hours a week just in marketing effort. If you're not doing that, reevaluate your life and get to work. You have to put work in this business. Now, if you're in the camp where you're putting the effort in and nothing's yielding from that, we have to have a serious conversation here. You're putting in the right effort, but your plans are not good. And what I mean by that is you might be cold calling 20 hours a week, but if your lists suck, you have a terrible script, you're still to this day nervous talking to motivated sellers, you're not gonna get any breakthroughs in your business. And so you watching this video right now, you wanna know what's the change? If you're scared talking to sellers, I would say just keep calling and keep going until your fear is over. I would tell you, most people have this fear of talking to sellers. After that 1,000th cold call, it goes away and you're fine. You talk to me on my one-on-ones, we're good to go. Next here is figure out your lists. You know, if you're in a bigger market and you are cold calling and grinding and you're doing lists that everyone else is doing, the high equity list, the Zillow for sale by owner list, the MLS, expired listings, or heck, even the vacants or pre-foreclosures, you're going after a list that's really publicly accessible that most people can just go and do themselves. What you need to do is probably get a little more niche down on your marketing so you can actually start doing deals on lists that really no one else is doing in your market. This year are gonna be a lot of government lists, a lot of reverse drawing for dollars, digital bandit signs, heck, SMS texting for free that we have in my free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. That's really what you have to start doing to get some more success here. And this lack of not knowing what to do probably comes back to not going through my whole course, freewholesaling.com. Now, I've said it a million times, but I do have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com, where I teach you step-by-step how you can get started in wholesaling real estate absolutely for free. It's a long course. It is not a little short little one where in 2-3 hours you get the whole thing done. It is hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of me sitting down and drilling in your head what works and what doesn't work in wholesaling real estate in 2024. Now, here is the massive issue. Most wholesalers pick and choose what they want to go through. I'll go through maybe the cold calling section, but maybe the list pulling one, I don't really care. I'm just going to skip that. And it's utterly ridiculous that you would skip through this. Imagine trying to watch all 7, 8 seasons of The Sopranos, and you decide to watch season 1, 2, and then season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're gonna skip, and then go to season 8 and 9 and figure out what's going on. You're gonna be confused, you're not gonna know what's going on, who are these characters, what's going on, and then you take a test on the knowledge of the show and you don't know anything. It's because, you skip the most important parts because maybe it's not the most entertaining with your TikTok ADHD attention span, but you still gotta go through it and learn it. So I'll tell you, if you don't know what to do or the right list to pull or the right scripts, you clearly haven't watched hours and hours in that course of me actually talking to real life motivated sellers. You gotta go to freelisting.com. Decide yourself. Are you gonna watch Seinfeld or Friends today on Netflix, or are you gonna decide to go to freelisting.com, make something of your life, and do something that's actually gonna produce you money and make a change in your life? Also on top of this, I see a lot of people with their marketing, they'll tell me they're talking to a ton of motivated sellers. They'll tell me that they're making a ton of cold calls. They'll tell me they're grinding 8 hours a day with their texting, and they're driving for dollars and door knocking and doing all this marketing. They're just grinding. And I ask them for the KPIs or the facts, because facts do not care what you're feeling for the day. What I mean by that is, I get a lot of wholesalers that'll tell me they work 3, 4, 5 hours a day in their marketing, they're getting nowhere, and they don't know what to do. And I just clearly ask them, well, pull up your dialer and tell me for the past 7 days, generate the report. I know you can't really fake this on zachdialer.com, the dialer that I tell everyone to use. Tell me for the past 7 days, how many calls and contacts you have made. They click it and it shows, well, it looks like here I made 42 calls and 20 contacts. And I'm like, wow. So you tell me you poured 35 hours into cold calling this week, but you've only made 42 calls? Well, something's not adding up here. Well, I was thinking, I guess if you really have to look at it like that, it was about like 2 or 3 hours of calling. And I'm like, see, that's the problem. It is a lack of accountability. A lot of people think I'm really cold or calculated when I ask people, just give me the numbers. I don't care your yappy speech. But that's what I actually have to see for most people that are stuck in wholesaling. What are the facts? What's the information? And what is keeping you accountable? When I tell you that, hey, you need to be making at least 20, 30, 40 contacts a day, that's about 200 a week if you're doing it 5 days a week. And so if you report back to me in a week and you only did 100 contacts, you're 100 below your goal. You're not being accountable to yourself. You're not doing what you set out to do. It's just a numbers game. It's statistics, it's cold, I get it, but this is business. We cannot put our emotions into wholesaling real estate if we actually want to make a change. Did you do the work or did you not do the work? A lot of wholesalers that get stuck in wholesaling get stuck doing the busy work or the work that feels good in your soul, but you're really not producing income by doing it. This is running comps, this is making logos, making social media posts, telling your grandma that you're grounding in your new business. That stuff doesn't make you money. It's the cold calling, the texting, the follow-up, talking to cash buyers. That's the thing that's actually gonna yield you wholesaling results and money. But a lot of wholesalers like to not do that, right? They like to self-procrastinate in their brain and kind of self-sabotage themselves on the things that make them feel good in the moment and not the things that actually suck and actually yield you the results. Again, if you're watching this and you're scared to talk to sellers and you expect to get unstuck, this is not gonna happen at all. The only way you're gonna actually start doing deals is to break free of your scaredness, your fear of having a conversation with another person over the phone. And all you have to do is just step in the water. If you have a fear of being on airplanes, I promise you, the only way to get over that fear of airplanes is by stepping on an airplane and going on a bunch of airplane rides. I can't bring you on a simulator or do some therapy for you. Just getting up here and facing your fears is gonna be the fastest, most efficient way to get rid of this fear. It's the most logical step. And so if you're scared of talking to motivated sellers, I just ask you, go to Zillow, go and cold call at least 100 Zillow for sale by owners. I promise you, you go to freelisting.com, you learn what to say. After the 100th call you do with an actual conversation with a motivated seller, you will be less nervous on the 101st call than on the first call. And that's because your fear of what could happen instantly goes away, because people just want to have a conversation and that's pretty much it. They're not threatening, they're not scary, you just got to have a convo. I was scared talking to sellers starting out in wholesaling real estate. A lot of people think me starting out as a beginner, I was like who I am today. No, I was not. 100% no. I got better at talking to motivated sellers by, guess what? Having experience. How do you get better at basketball? You practice more. Same thing in wholesaling real estate, except you can actually go out here and do it right now. So I challenge you today. I would want you to make a commitment if you think you are stuck right now in wholesaling real estate to at least put in 10 hours of income producing activities every single week. That is right. That is what I'm asking you today. This is what I'm pushing you to do. And this is what I truly believe you should be doing right now. Do 10 hours this week of income producing activities. These are going to be activities that will lead for you to get leads, contracts, contacts, offers to motivated sellers that will actually yield you wholesaling results. So you might ask yourself, what is an income producing activity? Marketing. So cold calling, list pulling, skip tracing, following up with sellers, having a conversations with motivated sellers, making offers, going to appointments, talking to cash buyers. What isn't an income producing activity? Logos, talking about wholesaling, scrolling through Netflix, watching a movie, watching a TV show. Stuff like that are not income producing activities. If you can make a timer on your phone and actually just dedicate 10 hours to focused work of things that will actually yield me wholesaling results, you will get there. I would say for anybody watching this, if you could try at minimum to at least make 100 contacts a week. A contact is when you call someone up, you text them and they want to sell their property. You call them up, you text them, and you actually can reach somebody and you ask that person if they're interested in selling their property. Doing at least 100 of these every single week will actually point you to a better direction so you can start doing some positive momentum. Most people watching this that are stuck right now are just lacking their accountability. If you can become accountable to yourself to at least 10 hours of income producing activities, I would push you to probably do 10 hours of cold calling if you want. Go out here and do it. A lot of you guys are wasting your time doing things that are not making you money. Stop the video games, stop the Netflix, stop the doom scrolling on social media, and start getting results. If you want to learn exactly what yields the best results and what you should be doing right now, make sure you go to freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course, and go through that. Now, going through that course is not an income producing activity. It will give you good knowledge, but it will show you everything step by step on how you can get started in wholesaling real estate and start making some money. And if you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.